My name is Stephanie Sollis. In my rhetorical situation, you guys are all either executives or general members of a chamber of commerce, and I am your featured speaker at your monthly meeting. And I'm just going to give you guys a fair warning. I was and still am a cheerleader, so I get really excited and I talk really fast, and I'm probably going to come at you like a small stick of dynamite, so fasten your seatbelts, hang on, and enjoy the ride. So just there's that. All right, so good afternoon. I want you guys to imagine for a minute a place of hope. A place where kids can go with life-threatening illnesses while still being treated as normally as possible with the most respect possible. And if you guys are familiar with this organization already, it is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, which I'm proud to talk to you about today. What I want to focus on is ALSAC, which is an organization that is very closely affiliated with St. Jude. And what I want you guys to get out of this is how much of an example that ALSAC is for everybody else. We're going to look into what ALSAC is specifically and the various different ways that they raise money. Okay, so first of all, what is ALSAC? ALSAC is the second largest healthcare-related charity in the United States currently. Why is that incredible? Because it benefits one hospital and one hospital only. It stands for the American, Lebanese, Syrian Associated Charities, and it is the sole fundraising organization for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis. They are responsible for organizing the day-to-day operations and funding all of that for such a great organization. Now, what is St. Jude? St. Jude was founded in 1962 by the beloved late entertainer Danny Thomas. It recently celebrated its 50th anniversary on the same day that Danny Thomas's, what would have been his 100th birthday. What Danny Thomas's mission was he saw too many kids that were dying of horrible diseases because they couldn't afford to go to the doctor. So he wanted to create a place, an incredible place at that, where they could go, didn't matter who they were, where they came from, or even if they could afford it, which is obviously awesome in my opinion. A cool fact about Danny Thomas, whenever he celebrated what would have been his 100th birthday and the 50th anniversary of the hospital, the United States Postal Service just dedicated a 45-cent forever stamp in his honor. So no matter now, whenever the postal prices keep rising, as they probably will, you can always, from this day on, mail a 1-ounce letter for 45 cents. So obviously, St. Jude and its mission is a big one. So ALSAC, its fundraising organization specifically, has a lot to live up to. Now let's look at some numbers. It costs a whopping $1.7 million to keep St. Jude open every day. And only about $180,000 of that is covered by patient insurance. And if you really do your math, that's about $621 million a year. So they have a lot to live up to, right? Well, ALSAC is, in my opinion, to keep it pretty blunt, they're doing work. Last year, they raised about $685 million in support of an organization. So we see that they are really doing their jobs. Now you're probably wondering, how do they raise all this money, right? They've obviously got to be doing something great. Well, first of all, there's several events that they host. Several meaning a lot in this case. There's about 34,000 events every year in support of such a great hospital. And what they do is they partner with all of their regional offices throughout the United States and also participating hospitals to raise all of this money. Now what I want to do specifically on the event side is just highlight a few that I like that you probably would as well. Probably have lots of golfers in the room. Raise your hand if you're a golfer. Awesome, there's lots of you guys. Well, FedEx and St. Jude partner for the FedEx St. Jude Classic, which is in Memphis, every June at the TPC at Southwind Golf Course. This raises not only a ton of money, but also a ton of national media attention because we have so many avid golfers in the country and in the world. Another way that they raise money on the event side is through the Up Till Dawn organization. I know that I was personally affiliated at my old university. Some of you guys might have been as well. And what we do is we use our imagination to think of ways that we can fundraise for everyone. And our specific event that we really liked was actually staying up till dawn, and which was a really cool way. We sent out letters that day. We did all kinds of fun things in support of the hospital. A third event that we have, if any of you guys have kids or grandkids that are in the K through 8th grades, they can receive pledges in the Mathathon to raise money after they solve these problems. And it is right now the largest educational fundraiser in the United States. And my last event that I will highlight on, which is my personal favorite, is the St. Jude Memphis Marathon Weekend. It was hosted back in December, as it is every year. There is a marathon, a half marathon, and a 5K. And I personally ran the marathon, and also a shout out to my boy Alex Scrimsher in the back. Wave your hand. We both ran the marathon, so you can go high five him afterwards. And I will say it was a great event. There were 16,000 volunteers and participants total, and we raised a whopping $3.9 million, which I think is incredible. I will say that it's a great event, and I will continue to do it from now on every year. Now, there's obviously other ways that they're going to raise money, right? Not just through events. There's other ways, such as radiothons, television broadcasts. They send out about 100 million direct mail letters every year and get about 1 million new donors and volunteers out of that process. They also have events such as the Hope Catalog, where you can buy St. Jude merchandise. And then one that you guys may be familiar with would be the Thanks and Giving campaign, where you can go to your local Chili's. They may ask you to donate $1 to color a chili. That money goes directly to St. Jude. So why does all of this matter? Obviously, we know that ALSAC is a great organization. They host many events, and there's other ways that they could raise money. So you're probably thinking that I want your money. That's a different speech. We're not going to worry about that today. I could talk about it all day, literally, but we won't go there. What I want you guys to see is how much of an example that St. Jude and specifically ALSAC are. First of all, if you think about it, and I have researched this, you never hear a negative comment whatsoever about St. Jude or any of its affiliates, right? If you did, it would probably be a Debbie Downer and make everybody upset that normally donates money to the organization, as well as, kind of lower the morale of other fundraising organizations. So we see that they serve as a model for everybody else, such as the Children's Miracle Network, founded in 1983. Kind of the same idea, right? You may go to the Walmart, your local Walmart in Oxford or Memphis, and they may say, hey, do you want to donate $1 to support Children's Miracle Network or Le Bonheur Children's in Memphis, right? The exact same business plan that ALSAC follows. So we see that they are not only an example of what a great fundraising organization should be, but they are also a great example of an organization with an awesome heart. We see right now that they are trying to fulfill the mission of the hospital. They really take kids into account, care for kids, and they are successfully fulfilling their mission that no child should die in the dawn of life. Thank you.